Hi, everyone. It's John Galante, president of AE Ventures, the folks that produce the Tech Home Builder Summits and who produce these Tech Home Builder webcasts. I'm excited today to be joined by Jeff Brown, who's the president of Innovative Home Systems in Las Vegas, Nevada. And we're going to talk about a cool project that Jeff's company did with a property called Tuscan Highlands. Jeff, welcome.
Thank
And let's start with a little bit of an introduction of yourself, your experience in the installed technology industry, and then tell us more about Innovative Home Systems.
Sure. We started the company back in 2005. Slowly went from, TV installs, learning about tech and so forth, all the way up to, getting all the proper credentials, certifications into Control 4, into Crestron, into the world of SnapAV, and,
Yeah.
slowly built that up into what we have become today. SnapAV always had a great product. They had always been forward thinking with their engineering, and with those companies in line, it helped me grow, Innovative for what it is today, and their partnerships. Specifically, we're going to be talking about Clare Control.
Mhm.
So that's one of the products that is in Tuscan Highlands.
So let's dive into the Tuscan Highlands property. Tell us a little, that's a new property and you worked with the developer. Is this a long-standing relationship or is it something, is this a first time?
So I've worked with the builder for 10, 12 years now. This developer is new to us. So we have worked with Schulman Group. This is the first where we actually executed contracts and worked directly with them on a project.
Yeah,
Uh, the previous project, South Beach Apartments, we consulted on the technology with them initially.
yeah,
And that one, I believe they had several learning curves,
yeah.
and at this point, they used a completely different system. It was an alarm-based system, and we had grown from that, right? And we went with at Tuscan Highlands. They wanted it to be the biggest, the best property in the United States or the world.
How many units are we talking about?
There's 304 units.
Okay. And low rise, high rise, a little bit of a mix or what?
Mostly, I mean, low rise. They do have a couple units that are 2 stories. I mean, there's nothing high rise.
Yeah,
They do have a few loft units, which are really cool. They even feature automated shades
yeah,
on the upper windows, which they added that feature in. So pretty
yeah.
unique to the apartment space.
Yeah. So this is multifamily, but it's got more of a feeling of a collection of single family units.
That's right.
Accurate? Cool. And what's the resident profile? This is a rental property. It's not mixed condo and rental. It's all rental, right?
All rental. That's right.
Yeah. What's that resident profile like? And is there a age range that they targeted when they went for this property or
They were targeting the millennial space. However, the resident right now ranges from young to much older. So it's pretty diverse,
Mhm.
and it's a much more upper scale resident, I would say. I
Yeah,
mean, the rent fees are a lot higher than your typical apartment space. However,
yeah,
with the amount of amenities you have, I mean, it pays for itself. There
yeah.
is a restaurant on
What
site,
what kind of rental rates are we talking? A range?
a range roughly, you're probably looking at 2,800 to 3,500,
Gotcha.
somewhere in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a lot of money in Las Vegas. Not a lot of money in New York, but it's a lot of money in Las Vegas.
that's right. Yeah.
Um, so you have the entire tech contract for Tuscan Highlands. Let's start with the shared space
Mhm.
and give me an idea of what sort of tech was installed in the shared space amenities.
So in the shared space, pretty cool. We start with our basic surveillance. We have cameras all over the place, uh, all the way from the drive entry to the leasing, up to the entire rec center, which is 20,000 square feet.
Yeah.
There's in the rec center, the lower half, there's an esports lounge, a restaurant. So if you live on site, there's a restaurant that consists of 6 different types of, I guess you would say, restaurants. I mean, you can order
Yeah.
what you want there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, and then there's a complete gym upstairs with
Yeah.
lockers, everything.
So
Uh,
on the esports lounge, did you install the television systems and such in there?
That's right. So we did all the TVs and the esports. We did all the networking to the esports machines.
Yeah.
We worked with the guys who set up the esports lounge to make sure that happened. They have their completely separate VLAN to make sure that their traffic is isolated.
Yeah.
We have 6 VLANs on property. So
Yeah.
between security, esports, uh, management, control systems, and so forth. The restaurant has their own, etc. We wanted to isolate traffic as much as we can and manage it so it flows seamlessly.
Yeah.
Um,
Do
so
you
we
have
did
work from home space designed in there, or was that pre-pandemic and it wasn't a big feature set?
wasn't a big feature set at that point, but there was a
Yeah.
lot that changed. I mean, it was a ever evolving project.
Hmm.
Um, and we're used to that space because even working with homeowners, in their 4, 5, $10 million home, it's constantly changing, right?
Yeah.
So being able to be dynamic like that makes a big difference on this type of project.
Yeah.
Um, so at the same time, they've always added things, LEDs. I mean, there was multicolor LEDs throughout the property. Lighting that was added. There's a full centralized lighting system inside the building. There's background music throughout the entire property, including multiple zones at the wine lounge area,
Yeah.
at the sports courts, and there's a full coastal source audio system at the pool,
Yeah.
which is off the charts. It's like a club.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice. So the AV component in the shared space is huge.
It's huge.
uh,
Full
Powerful
video matrix.
networks to power a lot of that equipment. Wi-Fi available to the residents in those areas too, with
Right.
lots of wireless access points.
Wireless access,
Yeah.
full video matrixing, so they can change what they want when they want.
Yeah.
It really brings everything
Does,
together.
does the resident have control of audio source selection in some of these zones in the shared spaces, or is that all master controlled?
Most of it is master controlled. However, in the yoga lounge, in a couple of the fitness studios, there's Bluetooth controls that allow the resident to directly connect
Yeah.
and play their own music.
Yeah. How did the process for the design and selection of the technology in the shared space, how did that work out with you and the developers? I mean, give me a sense of the process.
So there's several meetings. Starting from what do you guys really want to do? We developed a baseline based on previous projects we've worked on. And things kind of ever evolved with, whether it was regards to pricing. Obviously, pricing is always a big factor.
Yeah.
To what can it do and what's the latest tech. Uh,
Mhm.
Very important for this group to have the latest and the best product available. Um, they wanted to make sure that this property, there was nothing else like it.
Right.
So making sure that we can provide something like that, revising proposals over and over to make sure that we lock it down accordingly. Uh,
Hmm.
like I said, from centralized lighting system to 44 TVs that are all on a video
Yeah.
matrix. They have LED screens that, at the pool area, there's an LED screen that's 28 feet wide.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that happened to get to this point, a lot of
Yeah.
changes, a lot of modifications before we nailed it down, and like I said
Yeah.
before, even evolved during the project.
Sure.
So the biggest thing is create a baseline.
Talk to me about in unit. What's the package there? What were you and the developers shooting for in terms of customer experience?
So in unit is all Claire control. We had been toying with a few different options. We've looked at some of the other competitors around town and what they've explored with. Very minimal items. Usually it's control a thermostat, control a door lock, very basic IoT type devices you could probably do in a very small home, do it yourself or whatnot. We wanted to bring the full package together. And including bringing the full package together, it was important that there's an easy way for management of the system to happen, right? Whether it's the turnover, someone moves in, someone moves out. It needs to be easily managed and deployed out to a new resident. So these types of things is what we were looking for. And we came across ClareControl. Given the fact we work with Control4, SnapAV, and all of these, ClareControl, they were great. The contacts there, the owners, they really helped us out, and they really looked at our vision on what we want to do and even helped us build some of what we needed into the back end. Given that is going to move into more projects and spaces, right? So it's neat. But at the same time, bringing everything together, making sure it's easy, is a big deal.
What's the customer benefit, the customer experience for the resident?
Customer experience is they can, from their phone, they have an app, they're not paying for it, it's all included, that they can control their lighting, their thermostat, their door lock. There's an alarm built in. In some units, they can control shades. So there's a lot of really cool features like this.
Yeah.
The access from the units on the buildings, there's a comm light system. So not only from entering the project, you can unlock the door at the building for your Postmates guy or for your friend. They can walk up to your front door. You can unlock the door right there. They can gain access to your unit, disarm the alarm, whatever it may be, right? So all of this experience has been a very seamless, easy to use, modern feature, which everybody's been demanding lately. And it's something that's going to become a standard in my opinion. But it's a very, very easy to use system for them.
Yeah, I think I saw that you've got these standard offers, right? Every unit has a ClareOne package, but there is an options or upgrade path, and that's pretty unique in
That's
a
right.
rental property. How does that work? I mean, is the resident paying for that as a transactional purchase of additional hardware, or is it added to the monthly rent? How do you negotiate that it's unusual. And then you have units that have different hardware in them. Somebody else comes in and they've got a little different hardware package. That's something different.
Sure.
So tell me how you're managing that.
So we have offered each resident, they can upgrade their security package. They can have their alarm monitored through the cell GSM. There's a few other options that they can provide, but if they want light switches throughout their entire unit, there was only a standard that we provided. They can upgrade those. They can even buy the Clare panel, take it with them, and we can install it wherever they move, right? So a lot of these residents that we find are coming in from California. They don't know where to stay yet, or buy a house or whatever it may be. So this place is great. It's like living at a resort, and we're just coming to Las Vegas. This is perfect, right? I can't stay at, Caesar's Palace or Mandalay Bay for, 6 months, but I can stay here, so it's giving a similar experience. And at the same time, once they get a hold of ClareControl, they love it. They want to, keep that. So this is the opportunity we're giving them to say, hey, now you've lived with it. You may have expanded it. I know it's hard to go backwards, right? So take it with you and we'll put it wherever you go. You may buy a house, you may go to a different apartment. I don't know.
Does that include light switches and that stuff? If they decide they want more automated light switches in the unit, would they take those with them, and then you guys would go back to the standard in that unit?
That's right. Yeah, we would just go back to the standard.
Okay, interesting.
And
That's different
as well. That is different.
That's cool, and it feeds your single family business too as those folks move out.
It's all about upgrading, and as well, we don't want to just lose the resident, right? We don't want
Right.
to lose the client. We want to
Yeah.
expand and keep growing.
Yeah.
So we felt that this is an opportunity to do that.
Hey, Jeff, thanks for taking some time to tell us this story. Congratulations on your success with Tuscan Highlands, and best of luck to you on future endeavors. Stay in touch with us. Thanks
I
for coming,
appreciate it.
everyone.
Yep,
Bye-bye.
thank you. Take care.